hopefully we can see a great game here today. One plays 9, Big Sculler and Winstanley. He was good last week on Lade, they go up. Sculler gets the top. On to Winstanley, gets a handball out to Hamby. Hamby on the left, playing on the wing. He puts it to Sujay Cook. He's over the ball. And out comes Stevens. He was good last week for the Doggies and he goes forward. It's down. Central's pick it up, he's caught. Great tackle and forces it to the boundary line. Will it go over? Yes, and James Gowan gives it to the umpire to throw in.
Probably an opportunity to have a look at the Central's bench, sitting down to start with Murray Hamlin, Big Damien Arnold, and the first season player in Richard.
Thanks, Michael. They go up again. Players looking for a start. Glenelg are at it. And the umpire will ball it up. Well, let's hope we can see a good contest here. Glenelg has started all right, but it's down in Central's forward line, and they're working hard to get it out. Winstanley again gets it over to Costa. He's looking for the boundary line. He's not going to get it. Arnott kicks it in long, looking for the tall timber. They're up. Sherwood, good punch. Sujay did well. Nathan Irvin. And the umpire will ball it up again.
Thought he could have just give a nice little sneaky give back to Sujay Cook then. Didn't quite have enough time.
They go up again. Straight off the burn. He's going to have to work hard. He kicks no one, no Tiger there at all. Apart from McKenzie, he tried to do well. He gets it onto Arnott. Hopwood, he kicks it long. Big Winstanley's there. They can't ball go to the ground. And it's messy early, as you expect. They get it out. Oh, quick kick from Glenelg. He's got no one there. Arnott just gets an easy one. Picks the target out, and he's found. Kynan forward, is it?
Yes. Just got to watch that in defence. A couple of times they've just delivered the ball out of that defensive 50 zone, and there's just a wall of Central's players there. Maybe just head straight for the boundary and reset.
Well, they're trying to flood. As you expect, they're trying to shut down the midfield, but you've got to have players on players. And this is what Central is so good at, forming the wall. He likes it. So does everyone else. And there's their first score to Kynan forward.
Well, that was a little bit too easy, wasn't it? Just coming out of defence, as I said, the loose kick being picked off pretty easily and delivered to a marking target inside 50. You're always going to come off fairly well here. Arnott too easily finding forward. And that's a kick at goal inside 50 from a key forward, and definitely made the distance with comfort.
So under just on 3 minutes, in fact, in the opening term, Costa, opportunity to clear the ball. It's turned over. Bello, they come screaming out of the middle. Now it's Stevens. Stevens has a target of sorts in his namesake. Danny Stevens was up there. Forward almost got the hand pass away. The Bays, though, managed to clear it. Awkward bounce for Costa. He overran it. Just socket off the ground. Well, that was fortunate. Now it's Woods. You got a bit of space in front of him. Has a look up. The lead's on from Baldwin. It'll go wide. And, well, Hicks just did so well. Picked up the loose ball. Now they spread it down the far side of the ground. They've created a loose player of sorts, Hopwood, and he'll slow it up and they'll try and come back through the corridor. He certainly thought about it. Just having a look around. Eventually decides on the long ball. Bello, he got some space. And there's the problem. The Bays have got to shut them down through the middle. Well done by Cook, cut it off. That's opened up the play somewhat. He's kicked long to Nicholas, but again, the numbers are with Central's. Nicholas fortunate, free kick behind the play was held up, and he'll take the free kick, and now Ben Moore has slipped forward. Look out, he's going to be met. Well done, Geister coming across, knocks it clear, and now Moore's man, Steinberner, is on the break. Got a player on the wing in space, delivers it to Arnott, takes the mark.
Ordinary effort from Moore, just ran past it and then just didn't come back into the play at all.
Arnott looking towards the central corridor. He's got Gowans there. He goes that way. Gowans in turn has Hereda running for him. So Hereda breaks off half back. Option of Healy, decides to go over his head. Stevens lets it go over his head, and the Bays have the numbers at half back, but they just can't get control of the ball through half forward. Cook elects to go long. A couple of players out there waiting for it. Nicholas was one of them. He takes it on the left leg, comes inside. Good option. Oh, he's set up. No, they got away with it. Now the long kick in. Baldwin is a target. Almost took the mark. Oh, it's rolled through. The Bays have an opening goal.
Well, that was some excellent effort in defence. The whole thing started back there. They're hitting the ball hard, and Sujay Cook's probably the one setting the best example back there. Came through at 100 mile an hour. Then he had the presence of mind to use his vision. And I think a couple of efforts earlier by the Bays didn't have that vision about it. Went out to the wing, found Nicholas, and then it was good work from there. Handball inboard with Stanley under a bit of pressure, but got a nice boot to it. Good leg. And Baldwin, in the end, probably pretty clever not to touch it.
I just put a bit of icing on the comment for CJ Cook too, just watching the boys warm up. CJ Cook was the only one amongst the Bay boys that was zipping around and trying to get some voice going.
He looks alive. He looks alive.
Well, they go up again. Byrne gets it. The Bays, they're going to go and attack again through Hanby. He's been good on that wing early. Sorry. Irwin. They look alike, those two. Wish they get their haircut. That's Benny Moore. He gets it out to young David Yeomans. Looks really well. Has he found McKenzie? Oh, shepherding off the ball by Baldwin. And the Doggies they'll take it out. He's going to play a Luth Healy.
Just look on replay. Baldwin just pulling Geister down, and in his desperation gave away a free.
Well, Hopwood gets it onto Bello. The Doggies are attacking now. There's just loose players everywhere. It's on to McGowan. Back to Healy. Healy's got Bello. They're just doing training, Drew Hill. Bello's got plenty of options. Oh, it's a shocking kick. He's found Herrera, who marks on the chest, diving beautifully.
Showed a lot of courage to mark that.
And he's got short. Young Slade, oh, he drops a ball. Picked up. Centrals are still in it. Centrals kicked long, and he's got James Gowans takes a one-hander, if you don't mind, in the pocket. And no doubt about this young man, he'll have a shot for goal.
It's a good effort in the end. They were going to make a mess of it at one stage, but eventually worked it out the back and got the handball away, which allowed a pass off to Gowans, but looked a bit messy there early. Great mark by the Raider, showing a lot of courage.
Right kick.
Well, it's hit the post. He won't be happy with that, James. He likes kicking a goal.
They're very accurate too. I think it's 24-8 to James. Now 24-9, but wasn't a bad effort at goal.
Well, they might have a competition going on in the family.
Yes.
Just waiting for the Bays to bring the ball back into play. Almost like soccer, just waiting, stalling for time. The ball comes out to the main side of the ground, the main grandstand side, and they turn it over, and here comes Bello. He's got short option, and the mark taken in the pocket, so a difficult shot for Walton. But at least he's on a better side for the right footer. Probably about the same angle, but on the opposite side to where Gowans had his shot just a minute or so ago.
This would have to be a better kick.
So Ben Walton back from St Kilda, and umpire moves across and says, well, that is a very good kick. He's threaded the needle, no problems at all, and Central skip away. They've got a 7-point lead.
Well, I'll tell you what, having 92 touches in 2 weeks in the reserves hasn't done anything hard, because he's had plenty of the football and obviously plenty of practice at kicking goals. But again, Bello started very well. He's had 2 or 3 touches, and the thing about him is he always finds a target. So important. You couldn't have wanted a better execution at goal than that from Ben Walton.
Well, the umpire to bounce again. Let's hope the Bays can shut him down. The big men go up. Bello again with another possession. The Doggies kick long, looking for Chris Gowans. Oh, it's a push from Sujay. And it's from Slade. Slade's got short. Ricky McGowan, it goes to him. And this is where the Bays are falling down. They need to run with their midfielders through the line, because the Doggies will run all day.
Just at this stage, if I was in the centre square, I'd be calling a man up for the next bounce and just making sure that we're in front of all our opponents and making a real scrap fight in the middle.
Well, Ricky McGowan, he usually kicks well for goal, and that's no exception. They like it. So the Doggies move along. They're 3 goals won to the Tigers 1 goal.
Yeah, Ricky McGowan is a good shot for goal. He's you know, not a long kick, but he's very accurate. His hands are normally his weapon, And I just believe that he hasn't got as much game time as what he would have last year. But starting early in the game this week, I just think he does a lot of damage. He's just such a valuable player. But just watching here, and they're not going to man up the Bays. I just reckon they're so good in the middle, Centrals. Just make it as big a fight as you can.
Well, Moore's gone in for Costa. They go up. Bello gets another possession out.
That's too easy.
It's like instant replay, and straight away goes to Slade. Bello running on. It looks like we've just seen this before. He has a shot on goal, no one in the square. And he's put it outside, out of bounds on the full.
Do you think I'm being rude by demanding that?
Well, not at all, Tim. It's just a standard play. If a side kicks 2 goals, 3 goals, you just man up instinctively. Anyone knows that. And the Bays just need a controlling figure, and James Byrne needs to put it on. Now, Nicholas, he's got free. He goes over, that's Winstanley. Now, the umpire's called a...
Yeah, Gowans immediately came in, ran straight over the mark. He wanted to get a hand on the player with the ball, McKenzie. And the umpire said, no, you can't do that. And pulled him back immediately 25 metres.
Umpire Colin Ralston, too, had to come on as an emergency in the Port Essendon game Saturday night, so he's had a busy weekend.
He has indeed. He's a professional runner, so he should be up to it. Moore kicks it up forward for the Bays. Contested half forward, eventually out of bounds. Interesting, Tim. Central's lost just 1 first quarter this year, so they always start well. So they're 8-1 and well on the way to 9-1.
That's a good way to start a game. You get a good start. It's very hard for a side to peg you back if you just inch forward quarter by quarter, win each quarter. You're laughing.
Here's Hicks over the ball. Went to ground, perhaps when he didn't need to. Now Steinburner. Chris Gowans worked some sort of a hand pass there. I suspect it may have been a tap on. Otherwise, the umpire would have called a throw. In the end, no decisions made other than to bounce the ball.
Well, James Gowans comes off, and he's not happy.
I don't think he's ever happy coming off, but if we have a quick squiz at the guy sitting down from the Glenelg, David Willett, Michael Polly, big Craig Tasworski.
Inside the Bays half-forward line. Tap down. Contessa ends up with it. It'll go over the back. We'll just see where it goes from there. Straight out of bounds. Well, Healy didn't waste any time considering the options. Just prepared to put the ball out of bounds.
Yeah. Would you say it was deliberate?
I don't know if you could get more deliberate. 13 points the margin in favour of Centrals. 12.5 minutes into the opening term at Elizabeth. Schooler got that one down. Contessa roved it well. His kick was smothered. Now Healy. This time he opts to keep it in. Contessa, well, he tried to put body pressure on. They were more than up to it, the Centrals boys, and now McGowan has it on the wing, and here they come. Through the middle of the ground, they're looking for the ball.
James Gowans is looking for the ball as well. Obviously disciplinary for the 50-metre. He's just come off and turned around and come back on again.
Brad Stevens put the pressure on Bello. Now he's got Schooler in the middle. Goes to him in turn. They've got a couple more on the far side of the ground. That's where they'll go. They're lining up, hailing cabs out there. Steinburner will get this next kick, I would say, from Geister. He does. Pulls it in eventually. Goes around Nicholas like he wasn't there. Back into the centre of the ground. Sujay Cook came, took out a player over the back, and now it goes forward again. The kick was meant for Walton. The Bays do well. They can clean it up at the back and come clear.
That's Robertson. He kicks down the wing looking for Stevens. Shot and kick.
You know, I was just about to say, if they can use this ball, they can make it go all the way back down the other way.
Well, that's Hamby. I've got him right this time. You're right, Tim. And it looks like a training drill for Centrals at the moment. Now, he's transferred play over and found Sujay Cook. He's trying at least to get the ball forward. He's found Sher. He was good on that half-back flank. He needs to improve, though. They're looking for options in the middle. That's Nicholas Yeomans. Now, Yeomans kicks long, looking for a target. Nathan Woods a push. They get it out. That's McKenzie. And the big Geister lumbers zone. Now, Hicks, ever reliable back there. He's got players in the middle. He adopts to go down the line. And Simon Nicholl takes an easy mark on the chest. He's looking for options. Now, the Bays need to get some urgency here. You got Hamby in the middle there if they can go to him. Baldwin's doing that. There it goes. Goes to Hamble. That's a great kick. Now,
that was marginal then, wasn't it?
It looked like that it's easy setting up from here where the ball should go, but they need to get a little bit more urgency. Hamby was there for at least 4 minutes. Now, he's a long kick for goal, and he likes kicking at goal handles. Now, what will he do with this? Bays need it, that's for sure. He pops it up, looking for a target. That's high. When Stanley's there, they're all there, front and square, Central's everywhere. Unlucky not to get one high. Quick kick to... That's Contessa, that's a goal. Fantastic play, front and square.
That's an interesting kick in the end. I was going to say it's almost like end-to-end at school where you just pop it up and see who can take the hanger, but he's deliberately thought, can't make the distance, I'll put it to the top of the square and make it contest. Now, as he's done that, this is really good front and centre stuff by Kim Costa. He gets in here, bang. Could have almost got himself a free kick, but a little give, just kept playing. Contessa's quick kick out of the pack, anything can happen. That's the sort of fighting around the football they've got to do.
Well, they go it again. Announcer Moore. Bello off to Healy. Now Danny Stevens is free, taps it over the back. Now Craig Robinson, he's got plenty of pace. Will he take him on? No, he's brought to ground. That's a good kick out of the fence. Oh, no, it's not. It's hit just a little bit too sharply. And even unhappy with that, the doggies go to Hopwood. Hopwood, the go-to player. He's got Healy in the middle, and he takes it off ground. The Bays are out. Off to Benny Moore to Sujay Cook. Oh, he should have given it. And he's very unlucky not to get holding the ball.
That is a great tackle too by Ricky McGowan. Just met him front on, brought him to ground beautifully.
Moore gets it. They're trying to work hard. Central's quick kick into the forward line. No one's there. Stevens, will he be there? Danny Stevens, it's his namesake. Take it. Oh, there's been a mistake. He's got a shot on goal. And what has he done with it? Kicked a point. Well, he could have looked in the square. There's a couple of Central's players there, but no one talking.
Yeah, well, you'd hope nobody was talking because that was under pressure. He could have perhaps turned around. There was two blokes he could have used.
The target from the kick-out was Moore, perhaps not the best one, because Healy came across the front. In the end, though, the Bays do scramble it forward. And again, they get cut off. Here's Stevens. Just gets the ball over the top. The hand pass swept inside from James to Chris Gowans, and from just on 50. No mistake this time. Centrals have 4 on the board.
I think you called it then, Neil. You said they Glenelg have scrambled the ball forward, and I think that's a good description of what's happening at the moment. They're scrambling the ball forward at times. Centrals have got such smooth, fluent movement because they don't miss targets with hand or foot. And the only danger that they ever have of looking bad is actually overusing it. So at the moment, they're coming through, cutting through the Bays as soon as they turn it over with ease because they've got plenty of options to use.
Well, they go up again. Hope Arnott doesn't get it again. He's got it the last 3 times. And that's been brought to ground.
That's better, though, fighting harder around the football like that. You've got to get your share of centre clearances, if not win that, because that's the only way you can get inside 50 more often than Centrals.
Well, Simon Nicholas ran in there well and covered them up so they couldn't get it out. That's what they need to do. Now, when Stanley's got it, he's off to Sujay. He's going to have to get rid of it quick. Oh, well played by Suj. Can he get it off? Yes, he has. When Stanley fumbles off the ground to Hamby, can he? And the Bays are on the wing there. Over to McKenzie, who's just got out of the play. He kicks long with his left foot, looking for Marcus Baldwin. Oh, he's up high and nearly taken a specky. But he just needed to hold his ground, Timmy.
Yeah, you did right. Hold your ground, make a contest here. He could have easily disposed of Geister then.
Now, Walton, they come out of attack, out of defence. Now, Sujay Cook, I don't know who's standing, but it looks like it's slow motion at the moment. No side's getting some easy flow, and we just need to see a tighter contest. Umpire to bring it in.
Every time that ball is turned over, there does look like there's plenty of options on both sides.
Now, someone held without it there. Now, the Bays, can they come out it now? They're into attack again. This looks promising. McKenzie, he's a left footer. He gives it over to Sherwood running on. It's a fumbly kick, looking for Baldwin. Not a very good. Hicks did well. Brings it to ground. Now Steinberg with pace, and here they go. They're all loose now. Just Michael Stevens. He's loosed. Now he's got Schooler in the middle. He dodges them. Oh, was he out of bounds? No. He kicks long, looking for the Central's players, and that Gowan's up high. Central's get it. There's players everywhere. Over to Healy, who'll play on and should kick the Iggy's goal. And he has. The captain's done well.
Central's forever with the football, either in defence or in forward, will always look back into the corridor. They're disciplined with it, and they know, the other players know that that's what's going to happen, so they make sure that they're in there as options. Now Healy is the skipper of this side, a good player, AFL experienced. Why has he got that much room and that much time? Have a look at this. Martha Sundays to kick that.
Well, they're all charged forward, and there was a turnover. Turnovers cost you every time. Half-back line, they transfer it very quickly, Centrals, and they go to the corridor, and easy as you like, they all run forward. Now Arnott's on. Now gets it to Ricky McGowan. Now, I'll tell you, Walton's got free there through the centre, as easy as you like, and there's a great shepherd by Gowans. And Central's players taking a mark.
Well, it's Arnott, and Ricky McGowan just took his spot in the middle to get the ball out because it must have been his turn. Now, tell me this, centre bounce, I'm going to stand in front of you so that you can't get the ball as freely as what that... You give blokes with the likes of Ricky McGowan's hands that much time to get rid of it, and you're going to get cut up.
Well, it shouldn't happen in modern day footy, and he kicks a goal. So Central's lead, 6-2, 38. The Tigers 2 goals. You're right, Timmy, you're exactly right. The Tigers need to put pressure on their opposition in the centre square. Now, Contessa's coming off. Now, Willett going on. Now, Timmy Costa with so much experience is trying to direct the traffic there. James Byrne needs to man up as well. Benny Moore, instead of pointing,
yep,
let's get on the players and let's stop this influx.
Just stand, that's it. Dead set in front.
Simon Arnott, 8 kicks already.
Put your hand behind you and grab their shorts or their jumper.
That's it.
As the bounce goes too.
Or anything you can. As the ball's bounced again, and Stanley tries to take possession, he does fairly well. It's off to Hanby, circles around, then delivers a pretty good kick, but Steinburner got his man out of the way. Now Woods. And Steinburner just came the other way. Well done. They're building again. Oh, the hand pass. He tried to rocket one. It didn't quite get where he wanted to. Matter of fact, it didn't get anywhere near where he wanted it to. Now Byrne for the Bays. Scher breaking off half back. Takes a bounce, puts himself under pressure by doing that. Now he's run about 50 metres. The umpire says, yes, you've gone too far. And he's taken it off him. And very unfortunate because he did actually kick the goal.
Unfortunate. Just needed players talking to him, Tim, that's all.
He was fantastic, though. Good way to attack the ball. Keep that up.
15-minute mark of this quarter. The Bays had kicked a goal and were down by just the 7 points. And since then, Chris Gowans, Healy and Arnott have added goals for the reigning Premier Central District. And they've kicked away to a 26-point lead, and they may well get another one. Down towards half forward. Opportunity to clear the ball for the Bays. Probably take it towards the line. That'd be a good option, and it is a good result. So out of bounds on the far side of the Elizabeth Oval, and Central's in control.
Well, Marco Bello, was calling for the ball in the back pocket there. Now you see him in the forward pocket for Central. That's how hard he works. He's a good player and he'll run all day. That's a good tap of centre. Hamby's been busy this quarter. He's trying to get something starting for the Bays. It gets it out to Slade loose. There's another player. He's loose as well. And it goes straight to Danny Stevens, who have another shot on goal.
Yeah, well, Danny is known for these. This is his bread and butter stuff. He's got such good skills. Gets hold of the football plenty of times. And when he's inside 50, this is almost a specialist forward.
Well, they're rotating their midfield into their forward line. It's just constant rotation. Danny Stevens has kicked a goal, I think, and that is another one to the Doggies. They go to 7-2 to the Tigers, 2 goals. And let's hope the Bays can start manning up in time on period.
Well, they did it the last bounce, and they got a set of clearance out of it, but again, you're saying turnovers hurt. When Centrals get hold of a turnover, they use it so much better than most sides. Danny Stevens finishing off. That's their 7th individual goal kicker at the moment. They do share it around. They're amazing.
Well, we see it every week from him. Now, Arnott will go with Winstanley. He's rucked the whole quarter. Now when Stanley's been good, he gets his, he takes the ball out of possession, shocking bounce. Byrne needs to get busy. Michael Stevens on to Bello again. Now Gowans has run forward and he'll get the ball. Now Hopwood's there, he annoys him. He goes long, on the fantastic play. Gowans roving that beautifully, and it's going to tumble over on the boundary line. We're at the 25-minute mark, the first quarter. Central's 2:46 to Glenelg 2:12. They need to man up in this quarter, especially going into time on 25-minute mark. Tigers don't want a late goal. They go it again with Sherwood. Now Slade been busy, great hand. Stevens can't control it. The Bays will kick out, he kicks long, looking for the boundary line. The Tigers are well done by Willett. He can't control it, it goes over the boundary line.
Now they'll be under siege all day long if they're going to continue with this, the way they're bringing it out of the fences. No real targets. I don't know whether you just sit an outrider out on one of the flanks and just say, okay, well, we're coming out of defence, we're just going to hit this target every time, because it doesn't seem to be anybody there at the minute. Well, they've got plenty of Central's blokes, that is.
Well, that's exactly right, Timmy. Here they go again. Oh, well cut off. Big Bays are going forward. Mackenzie, he's looking for Benny Moore and he'll find him. Now Willett's running hard. This looks good for the Tides. Can Marcus Baldwin take a mark? No, he can't. Well done by Hicks. Hopwood's going to shepherd. Hicks did well in time. That's a defender that knows what he's doing. Willett race over. Well done by Baldwin. Keeps it in. Hopwood with strength. Now he's got Steinberger in the centre. That's where it goes. Back to Hicks. They're working well, the back line. And he finds Michael Stevens in. He'll kick it on to Bellows, loose in the square. Oh, it's an up and under. He's under pressure. Costa comes in hard. Now Arnott's over the ball. He dragged it in. Will he be pinged? They're trying to force it out. Nathan Woods. Well done by the Bays. They're going to go forward. He's looking for young David Yeomans. He's found him. Fantastic.
Well, that was hard work in here, wasn't it? It was only really the kick to Bello that turned the ball over. It wasn't a good one. Good attack by Costa to come in hard, but cleaned up in the end. And Nathan Irvin, who worked pretty hard in most of the passages there, eventually got it to David Yeomans. Only his second game.
That's right, he's a good young fella. There's high regard for him at the Bay. He's a good long kick. He's in his second game and he likes it. Has he got a through a hope for the young fella? No, he doesn't like it. Well, that's a bad miss. Time on for the Tigers. Young David Yeomans. Love to see him put that one on the board.
Yeah, late goal, even though you're down, just gives you so much more light and confidence as you go into that break. There's still time to get another one if the Bays can hold it in.
The Central's huddling. Set play. Goes to the go-to player in Hopwood. The big Harada's out there. He gets it next. On to James Gowan. Takes an easy mark on the wing. Now the Bays are trying to flood back. Oh, he's given away. He's over the mark and he's going to get a bit of a 15-minute penalty.
Showing your age there, mate.
Yeah.
25.
25. Thanks, Timmy. Now Gowans goes long. They're going to cut it off the Tides. Oh, and there's the siren. There's the siren in the first quarter. Central's 2:44 to the Tides 2:1:13. Stanley and Arnold. They're going to go at it again. Bays aren't manning up. They're going free-flowing. Gets down to Arnold. He's going to get a handle of a contested, cuts it off. This looks promising for the Bays. When Stanley doing well, the Bays go forward through Irvin. Well done by Benny Moore. He kicks it for goal. Now, there's a contest in there. It's been put to the ground. Central's going to run it over, concede a point.
That was a good piece of movement. Benny Moore's little legs were pumping. He tried to get as much distance on that kick as possible. Did everything right. Couldn't make the distance required, but at least it's a good centre clearance for the Bays. Fighting harder in the middle there. Nicholas has been good for him.
Also Taylor to bring it in. They're huddling, and there it goes. The player loose, and it's Michael Stevens with plenty of pace. He's looking for Danny Stevens. A great kick to Michael Stevens. Now there's a bit of a wrestle going on. Craig Robertson better be careful. He's just giving Glenelg a little bit more time for his players to flood back. He's got a player in the centre. It goes to him. He kicks long. Look, if it goes to Sujay Cook did well. He always cuts it off. He does well, and it brings to ground.
Glad the umpire didn't have our view on ABC television of that one, because might have been pinprone the ball.
Central's bench, Murray Hamlin taking his turn. Richard Cochran, he's been the man on and off the bench all day, allowing the rotation of Big Paul Scholar.
Matty Sher trying hard to get it out. Goes to Byrne. We need to see more of him. Goes over to Arnott.
There's the wall.
That's right. We see it again. They transfer it inside the corridor. Arnold going long. Oh, Craig Robinson up high. Kynan forward. He got his hands on the umpire's paid it. Man in front. And why wouldn't you be if 6'4"?
Yeah, that's all you got to do. And Ford just provides that target there constantly. It's all his, nobody else. I know Robinson got up high, but he actually have a touch on the football.
Didn't look like there was a punch there, Timmy.
No, there was no attention.
3 up with all trying to mark. Now, here he goes. He lines it up. Kind of forward. He's kicked one. Is he going to make the distance? No, it drops short. Now, Sujay Cook did well onto Costa. In turn, he's got Irvin. He's got Yeomans running. Not a very good handball. Well done by Chris Gowans. And there's going to be a shot on goal by Slade with pace. Oh, is he tripped? Yes, he was.
So is it instant 25, is it, or not?
Not sure.
It was a bit of an accident. I mean, the hand was out trying to tackle him legally. Just as he went to ground, it took just a clip of the heel. So Slade will take his free kick.
You can see Centrals, they back themselves in.
Oh, yeah.
He did every time. He's going to run around. He knew what he was going to do, and he was nearly clear. He luckily got a little tap on him, so he's got a shot on goal. He lines up. Now it's spray to the cross. Is that out of bounds? They look at each other, the umpires, at 1 point. So he'd be disappointed with that, Slady.
Yeah, you saw Ben Walton's kick it in the first term, where he just threaded a beautiful goal. And I think Slade might have to have a word to him during the week on how to kick those ones.
And the noise you hear around the ground is the umbrellas popping everywhere as the rain starts to float down. I would like to say, though, that my umbrella is very warm and dry in the front of the car.
Probably been picked up by somebody, though. So Ford, Mark's just in front of the interchange bench. The way they rotate, he probably could have been heading off. He looks up, there's nothing much in front of him. So he goes short to Gowans, who presents himself. That's James Gowans. He wants to play on. He does get called to play on, so it goes straight back to Ford. That's not 15, says the umpire. So Ford forced to bomb it. Should be marked by the Bays. And Sherwood quickly hands off to Hanby. On the far side, he's got a couple of players running for him. And he chose the longer one-on-one option. And as it turned out, it wasn't so bad. Irvin able to capture the ball. Oh, awkward kick through the corridor. Chris Gowans the other way. Slade now fumbles the ball, perhaps just a little bit slippery as the rain starts to come down. Cook, nice little hand pass to Irvin. In turn, they work it. Scher, on this side of the ground, they've got a couple of players. One of them is Woods, the other one is Costa. Woods takes the ball, kicks it long. And Geister just too strong. Here's Costa following through. Managed to kick it off the ground. At least he's going to retain it inside the forward 50 for the Bays, and they badly need that sort of competition up forward, Tim.
Yeah, well, you've got to be competitive, and Costa was certainly that, but Geister is a very good defender. They have got a great defence. Hicks is a good player, a Raider back there with over 200 games. Very difficult to get something through them one-on-one.
Just with David Yeomans, they need to get out in front of him so he can run. Geister's going to love that all day. Just getting it popping it up. He's going to love it. Experienced player. So they go over the line. Now it's a misty rain here.
Nathan Irvin's going to get out of it. He's sitting down, being replaced by Michael Collins. I would say that Nathan Irvin's been a little bit disappointing for mine today. Seems to have been standing and looking a lot.
Oh, Gowans caught high. That's James Tight.
You're just trying to crash through another tackle. Got taken high, but got to keep earning the football, don't you?
That's right. Now Hicks, the go-to. He's got no one up for. Harada looked around looking for a player. There was no one there. Well done by the Bay play. Put some presence. Slade running through onto Michael Stevens. Looking to Kynan Ford. They go out at Sherwood's on him. Benny Moore in for support. Michael Hamby there. Onto Burns sitting back. Now instead they're trying to work it. Benny Moore's out here on the wing if they can get it to him. Well done by Polly. He kicks long, finds Contessa running on the wing. Now will he have a shot on goal? I hope he does, because he's inside 50 and they much needed goal for the Tigers.
Well, if there's any breeze at all, it's favouring this end that Contessa is going to have his shot at. Just wondering from about 48 metres whether he's got a strong enough leg.
Strong enough breeze.
Well, Adam Contessa lines up. It looks good off the boot. Oh, they go in. Beautiful leg. The Tigers get their third goal. 3-2-20. They trail Central 7-3-45.
Well, that's the first one of the second term, and Adam Contessa didn't look like missing. That was a good, strong kick. And as Michael Parsons said on the boundary, the breeze was going to assist him. And it didn't deviate at all. It's a good leg, good solid leg. That's his second. And look, the Bays just stay in the contest. They've just got to keep fighting hard in the middle here, making sure the Centrals don't get those easy clearances. And just try and work on those turnovers. Make sure that you try and narrow that down.
Again, just sitting off the back at the moment, Simon Arnott by himself, so we'll see if he gets it. As the ball goes down, Arnold, well, he tapped the ball forward, Byrne overran it, McKenzie picked it up, sky-high ball. Just see where it comes down. Contessa came from behind and spoiled Hopwood. Hopwood, though, comes back over the ball. His hand pass was sloppy in many ways, and that's put some pressure on Healy, who really caught one from Winstanley. Winstanley sat on him, and he's being admonished by a few of the Bay players, or rather the Centrals players in the background. Meanwhile, the ball's come to the wing, and Walton, who was sitting on the ground at the time. Sorry, Michael.
And Healy could get it back in the middle if they looked that way. Here's the one that was involved in that altercation to start with. Got up, ran for the football. The Bay players stood around and talked about it.
Bello, if he can get it over the top, has got Chris Gowan sitting in the middle. He gets it across to Ford, whose kick in that direction wasn't good enough. And the Bays, another opportunity to turn the ball over, as it turns out. Chris Gowans will get it now. No, he's Stevens now. Danny Stevens was sitting forward of the play. James Gowans off the left foot found him. And gee whiz, Tim, so little reward for the Bays. When they turn the ball over like that, they really get punished.
Yeah, well, look, Central's gave them plenty of chances to take it away. They turned the ball over twice themselves, so it's just like it was hand and back stuff.
Danny Stevens kicks his second, and Central's just edge away again. Stevens with 2-1 this afternoon, so he's been busy, and it's a 31-point margin in favour of Central District.
Hamby's been very good today. He's trying hard, and his hands have been very good, but that one did not hit hardly any of the football at all, which turned it over to James Gowans. And he was unselfish because he could have gone to the empty goal square. But he saw Danny Stevens and made sure of it.
Yeah. Hanby disappointed the coach Brent Nonner with that soft turnover, and he'll sit down to think about it.
Kynan Ford put his hand up too to say to Alistair Clarkson that, yes, I missed the target. I should stick to team rules. Now Centrals go forward again. That's Chris Gowans. Nearly got it. Bello. Is it Bello? It's not. It's under James. It's on to Ford. Ford kicks long. Now there's a contest in the square. It's Danny Stevens with so much class. Pushed Craig Robinson out the way and just took a lovely one-hander.
Look, he's AFL experienced player. Does everything right hand and foot. And one-on-one contest, that was a great mark. He's already kicked 2, so this will be 3.
As you like. Well, they need to do something, the Tigers. They need to do something quickly.
Well, you can just say that they're not as talented a side as Central Districts are. They are always going to be up against it here at Elizabeth. You've just got to try and compete in every contest, get to where the ball is, not where you think it's going to go, and just try and get as many numbers around it and help one another out as best you can. Because now we're already at, look at that, that's going to be a 37-point margin already, so we've just got to be very, very careful of that.
Just need the Tigers to just crash in at the ball, try and stop their flow. Throw themselves
their commitment's good. Their commitment's good, but it's normally 1 or 2, and the other numbers aren't there. Got to help one another with numbers.
Well, now they've manned up in the middle. The bounce doesn't help them, and fact, I suppose it did, because they did get it out of the square and forward.
Well, they've been a lot better with that this term. I was, you know, I believe Brent Nonna really got into that at quarter time and said, guys, that's not good enough. And they've been a lot better with it this term. So far.
Centrals with their game plan is just they stick to it, and if there's any deviation, they're off on the bench talking to the coach.
Benny Moore gets the ball forward. Over the back was Yeomans. He just peeled off. He almost got the bounce. Now he tries to lay a ship, but that allows Woods to square the ball. Costa will come on Steinburner, but he'll get there late. Steinburner now has options, and they clear the ball, and this is what they do so well. Hicks, in turn, he's got Denny Stevens running on the wing. He'll probably now look back through the middle, and
doesn't want to take a standard mark anymore.
No, that's right. Just the one hand, he's strapped the other arm to his back.
And as we suggested, they tried to come back through the middle. Now Hicks comes rather wide for Centrals, but his target was perfectly found in Walton. Walton looks up. He's got the options in the middle. Hereda was standing there. He let the ball go past to Slade. Slade, in turn, has Arnott sitting on the far side, and he'll take the mark and just look up forward. Arnold was on a lead. It was a pretty half-hearted one, so he goes short. Why not? They've just got players everywhere. Up in the pocket was Hopwood, just slipped all the way from half-back, right up to 20 metres from goal, and he obviously wasn't followed.
They take their turns in running down the Central's defence. They're very, very good at it. But like I said, it doesn't matter if it's in their forward line or in their back line. They all know that eventually they'll work towards the corridor.
So Hopwood with the proud distinction of 2 best and fairest in a row to go with 2 premierships, and he lobs through. 10th goal of the afternoon for Central District.
And a nice little goal to a half-back flanker. They always go back with smiles after they've done that. And it was just too easy. It was man to man to man, all unmarked.
Well, you see it time and time again. It comes out from the fence, wide in the pocket. They go to the wing, they transfer the play in the centre. You can actually read it like a script. Then they look for the short options, players flooding down from the back line. It's just it's a good combination, Tim.
It's very good.
Well, when Stanley, he's tried hard for the Tigers.
He's been good.
This Centrals get it. That's on a Sculler, on a Chris Gowans. Centrals get it out looking for Danny Stevens. He won't take a one-hander this time, but he takes it by the one hand. He transfers the play to the other side of the ground looking for Slade, as he knew a play would be there. He kicks short onto the captain and Healy, and he's on the 50. Now what will he do? He's got James Gowan leading. If the kick's right, he'll get it. It's gone over the back. Oh, he's taken high, and he's going to play for it and get it.
Look, the initial tackle was just high, unfortunately, and he's going to get 50 for telling the umpire that he has no parents. And yeah, the initial one was just high. It was unfortunate. His commitment was fantastic.
Look, Stevens just needs to go to the hips. It's a standard tackling procedure. You see it time and time again. They need to go low. The player's always going to duck his head for the game. And James Gowan, he just kicks his first.
Yeah, his first goal, but you know, they looked like they were going to make a mess of it. He picked up the ball beautifully here. It's a great attack, but just got the first one high, and a little unfortunate for Bradley Stevens, but he was upset because his commitment was 100%, no doubt about that.
So the opening goal of the quarter went to the Bays, and since then, in the last 5 minutes, it's been 4 goals to the Bulldogs. The last of those from James Gowans.
Schooler's come on. He's gone straight to the forward line. So there's another big target there.
And they're back all inside the 50. Central's looking to run the ball through the middle and just deliver long. They did well, the Bays, to get it forward through Polly. Just got the spilled ball, but Guster was so strong, and then peels off the hand pass quickly to Hopwood. Hopwood waited the hand pass. Now Steinburner's clear. He's got Healy in the middle, but he goes to Stevens. Healy will follow up almost certainly. Stevens turns quickly. His pass in front of Schooler, beaten to the ball. Well done. Punched out of bounds. The player there, number 48, is Taz Borski.
Yep, they ran the ball well again. Just good pressure that time from the Glenelg defenders right on their men.
Central's averaging 142 points a game, and already they've racked up 69 midway through the second term. Here's Arnott over the ball, met solidly, taken to ground by Polly. There's a little bit of dispute going on. Our cameramen, don't get involved. Oh,
Well, it was always
A couple of back slams, and in the end, it's a free kick.
Polly.
Well, I reckon it was a great attack by Polly.
That's right.
And,
Polly wanted a crack, didn't he?
He wanted to have a crack, there's no doubt about that. But good on him for doing it. And the reaction was, they're not used to getting pressure and being tackled in close quarters.
Now he's called to play on. This is what they should not be doing, bombing it long. Benny Moore, great crumbing. Now Hobie David Yeomans is caught under the ball again by Geister. Now Ford's got it. He's got players out, and that's Chris type. Now they're forcing players over. Danny Stevens running hard in the centre. Oh, it's a shocking kick by Chris. Sujay Cook did well to block off now. Hopefully the Bays have got players ever. Has gone to win Stanley. He's got to get back quickly. And now the Centrals are flooding back.
And look at the Glenelg players walking through the middle of the ground where the Central players going the other way.
Consequently, it's bomb. David Yeomans, that's big ball when he's up. Nathan Woods off the pack. Great goal. Is it a goal? Fantastic. He likes it. He's a good front and square player, Timmy.
I've been impressed with him, what I've seen of him so far. He's one of those little fellas that'll have a real crack, got some genuine pace about him. And look, he was front and centre on that occasion. I was a little worried because Centrals looked like they had the numbers. There was a good contest there by Baldwin. He was the only Bay player up. The rest stayed down with discipline, and little Woods did a nice little roving job on this. Around his body, bang. I was just going to say, if they can't hit Yeomans on a lead, Geister's going to be too strong for him at this stage of his career.
Exactly right. They go up again. Contessa working hard. Now Healy's on his own. He's going to take an easy mark and gets on that left foot of his, going straight through the corridor. The big forward's gone back. He's going to take the mark. No, it's dropped the ground. Sherwood's going to mop it up. Now need to flood over here, Glenelg. He's got no one here, so he's had a transfer play. Bays into the middle. Byrne misses it easily. Goes over to Healy. He's got time. He walks through three players and goes on the right looking for a Central's player. Now Matty Sher working hard. He's taken high. Polly gets it out. Over to Contessa. Yeomans will get it next. Now he's got players everywhere. Probably not the right option. Oh, it's a fumble turnover. Well done by Yeomans. Now there's the bomb. He gets it out in front of Baldwin. They're working hard. Well done by Hicks. He overruns it. Steinberner's going to help him. Benny Moore needs to get in there and put pressure on him. That's Swooper Swultala. He gets it on the wing, and that's a great one by Bickies. He takes it on the wing. He wants to get it on perfectly over to Hicks. Not really a good... Hicks can't pick it up. He's in slow motion. That's Cochrane. Onto Hopwood running forward. Now there's got a million players in the centre. Who's going to end up with... Oh, it's Slade. He's dropped it. He's good enough to retrieve it. Now who's going to get it next? He's got Chris Gowans just sitting there for... Oh, Healy wants a shot on goal. Well, he could have raffled it, and he's missed it.
Mate, there's half a dozen Bay players that have walked from one end of the centre square to the other and back again.
Where a Central sprint. They sprint to space to help one another and give for options. And even though at the moment I don't think Alistair Clarkson would be all that pleased, this is a bad turnover.
Oh, God.
Push. Oh, you can't get much worse than that. Comedy of errors, and results in Kim Costa a little shove in the back for a forward who was propped over the ball. Umpire Tim Pfeiffer said, "I'm sorry."
He's hit the ground. He's hit the ground with the kick. Unfortunately,
Sure,
I have seen worse. I've seen Craig Baum kick straight to Rick Davies on the edge of the square, which is probably as bad as you get. But that was just purely hitting the toe into the turf.
Kind of forward a bit more polite than what Rick Davies was on that occasion, as I remember. So he comes forward from pretty much straight in front, lobs through another goal for Centrals, and you just cannot afford to give this Bulldog outfit that sort of leeway. Gift.
They don't need easy goals, do they? Because they can get plenty of them themselves the way they work. And that is just, unfortunately, like you got too long of boots on. And then Kimmy Costa made a bit of a meal of the tackle.
Well, I hope they don't drop their head, the Tigers. They really need to work through it. They need to get some support going. OK, these things happen. They need to man up. Now, honestly, Daniel Healy had 5 players he could have gone to in the pocket there. Chris Gowans was screaming out for it. And why wouldn't he shot on goal? They're playing that well. Central's 12-4-76, the Bays 4-2-26. Now they've manned up. Big schooler on Winstanley. No one really decisively got it. Winstanley working hard. Byrne gets it out. Irvin. Now it's going on the centre. There's something now. The umpire's picked out a free to the doggies. At least they're giving a bit of a contest, the Tigers. Trying to ruffle a few doggy collars, if you like. Now, Centrals with experience play on hard through Steinberner. He's going to kick long. looking for Kynan Ford. Well done by the Glenelg player, and Shirt taken high. Umpire didn't see it, and the crowd don't like it.
Yeah, well, they went on with it a bit in the middle there, and everybody else just took off.
And Michael talked about players from the Bay walking through the middle. I can tell you that Chris Gowans ran 25-30 metres to be involved with his brother and Winstanley from the Bays in that little altercation in the middle.
Well, you like seeing double or seeing triple if you talk about the Gowans boys. Robinson wants the boundary line. No, it's kept in. Shudjo with quick hands off to Mackenzie. Now, he's got no one to kick to, so he kicks down the boundary line, which is very, very smart. They had a wall of doggy players there, Timmy.
Yeah, that was about all he could do, and he found the kick to touch pretty well. But Central's in this term, I just reckon Alistair Clarkson will be saying, hey, guys, we've just overused it at times. Just probably done the one movement too many. Let's just go back to being a little bit cleaner.
Don't forget, next week, South Australia versus Victoria. It's a battle for, I guess, state league supremacy. The best second-tier competition in the land. South Australia will hold that at this stage. 2 o'clock's a special time for that next week on ABC TV. And Yeomans, nice little lead, and they put one in front of him.
He's a good player. He's very fast and he's got a very, very good mark. They just need to get it out in front of him, and he'll mark like that all day, Timmy. Nathan Woods did well there. Great little disposal. And hopefully the Tigers can get one back.
Yeomans will kick from just on 50. Not too bad. He gets to the square. All of that was dominated by the Dogs, as has the game today. And Geister just slapping through the minor score. A rush behind.
If he was playing cricket then, I don't think young David Yeomans hit the middle of the bat. It looked like he didn't quite get enough onto the footy, because I reckon he'd be a longer kick than that.
Well, he's got a tendency to kick close to the man of the mark, and someone needs to get to him down the bay and show him and go work through, work it up. Yeah, that's right. So the Bays have got it. They're going into attack. Mackenzie gives him a lead, and he's taking a good mark, diving mark. Now, the Bays need to do something here. There's misty rain here. Now, there's plenty of leads. Contessa's got one there. There's Polly. He's screaming for it. Centrals are flooding back. He's called to play on. Now, Marcus Baldwin's got 5 players. The Tigers are up. Comes to ground through Costa. Gets a great hand. And he's flicked it up.
She was a throw. Yeah, no, that was pretty blatant, that one.
And Kimmy just letting him know that it was, was that a great state of origin flick out if I've ever saw it. Hicks with run. Goes over to Arnott. He's got support there. Hicks is on his own. He'll get it back. Plenty. There's Bello. He's going to run it down the outer wing. Big punch. Craig Robinson did well on Chris Gowans. And the ball goes over. Now, Alistair Clarkson doing his changes. Taylor off for Stevens. And he'll see that all day.
Yeah, it's the way he rotates his players, the opposition often don't know who they're on. And that's the beauty of how they get the loose man, and then they eventually, just hit target after target.
So just another contest, another 50-50 on the far side of the ground, and Bello just taps it forward. Eventually it's out of bounds. Now, Tim, tell me, if the Bays don't know who they're standing at the end of the day, wouldn't that mean there are some loose boys running around for the Bays as much as there are other Dogs?
Correct. And the way I was going to add to it and say the way you beat that is just by winning the clearances. So you win the throw-ins, the stoppages, and the centre clearances, and that way it's your men that are going to be picking up the possessions, not theirs. But as we've seen today, Glenelg tend to turn it over.
And of course the skills of the Dogs have been too much at this stage. Here's Shirt. That was good skill from Shirt.
He's got no one here on the outer wing.
Byrne back to Shirt. They did well to at least work it that far. Now it's Sherwood. Did well, got inside. Well, hang on. Umpire won't pay that as a mark. They're still trying. And they get it across the halfback. Now Polly, he's got one on the far side. And finally, they might be able to break and play on. Yeomans was that, just got it across there, and in the end it's out of bounds, so they muck up that as well. It was Robertson whose kick just didn't find the target, and so it's out of bounds on the far side of the ground, and that's symptomatic of what's gone wrong with the Bays this afternoon. Doggy supporters looking very self-satisfied.
They need to push over quickly if they're going to come out of defence like that. All the Bays players and midfielders need to streamed down the wing to give him an option. He had no one to kick to. He was consequently had to go back inside and over the other side it went for a loose player.
Ball bounced down. Interesting to see James Byrne, number 1 there for the base, just hands on hips walking across there. He's obviously tired. On the other hand, Chris Gowans and the Doggies are not tired at all, and they keep on applying pressure. It's out of bounds on the far side. We've gone 26 minutes in this term, and at 76-27, you'd have to say Centrals are pretty much in control of this match.
They are for sure. Well, you see James Gowan just giving the bays, letting them know that I got the ball first. Now, stacks in the middle there. It's on the far side. 26 minute mark. I'll get it out in a minute. The second quarter. The Bays need to do something. Umpire throws it up. Goes to Kynan Ford. Irvin's there. That's Jaborski. Fell over. Comes to McKenzie. Over to Irwin. Irwin kicks long. Looking for young David Roberts at Yeomans. He picks it up. Well done, Winstanley. Not a really good kick. Looking for Nathan Woods. Oh, he gets one high from Stevens. Herrera's got it.
Pressure.
Comes to ground. Contessa's got a chance. He finds a player in Byrne, and Byrne will kick from 30 metres out.
Really good forward line pressure then from the Bays. Came inside 50, didn't allow it to come out too easily. Good tackling, good commitment. Allowed Contessa to get a chip pass over to Byrne.
Well, Simon Nicholas coming off for young Willett. James Byrne hasn't had a big day yet. I suppose he's been chasing Gowans and Bellows and Slades, but they all need to man up.
It was Nicholas that didn't provide the option coming out of defence last time for the Bays.
Thanks, Michael. As Byrne lines up for a much-needed goal from the Tigers, close to half-time. It's off the boot. He doesn't like it. And it's consequently a point.
Yeah, when you've got a breeze like this, it's always probably best to just aim inside the left-hand goal post. It's always going to come back that little bit.
You see the huddle there, well and truly on. Bays opting to go one-on-one, so the Centrals boys all pull themselves in to a huddle, and then they clear, and immediately Steinberner gets a nice little break. If he can get a handle on the ball, he's got a player running for him. On the wing, Hopwood, and they just do it so easily. The kick up towards, well, Cook did well at the front there in front of...
No zone? No defensive zone?
No. They're trying to man up. Michael Stevens is going to be the player. Steinberner, they're the two fastest players inside, and they're going to be the go-to players. You see it every time. They do it a lot, Centrals.
You talk to any full back, and I think that they really do detest kicking out to a zone. I mean, it is very difficult to get through a decent zone.
Not many fullbacks kick out these days either, Tim.
Yeah, well, that's right. Anybody kicking out from fullback, I should have said.
Well, that's centre wing, and can't be much time left in this quarter. We've gone past the 29-minute mark. 76 plays 28. Schooler just takes it out of the air. Off to Gowans. Bello in the middle. He's got Hamblin running for him. Hamblin's kick under pressure. Just got it up in front of the pack. He comes sure to his eye off the ball. Opportunity there, running well. He was nearly going to give the hand pass away, Cochran, but in the end, he tried very hard to give the hand pass away. Couldn't avoid it. Had to kick the goal.
It's the real mark of the unselfishness of young Richard Cochran and of the whole Central District side. They're so, disciplined and drilled to make sure that they share the football and give it to the best option, but he just waited all day. He had to kick it himself. Probably, just pick up the play. Was it Willett coming out from fullback, attacking that football?
Sure overran it.
Sure, was it overran it? He'd be very disappointed with that because he had to make that attack and make it come off because it was always going to be goal otherwise. It was 3-1.
Exactly right, and they made a mistake and put it in front of Sher, but he needed to push that ball right through with hard, aggressive running, and there's the siren.
Well, that ends that first half. 13-4-82 to Glenelg, 4-4-28. As the scoreboard will suggest, it was dominated by the Dogs, and we probably expected that before we got here, but the Bays at times have had enough commitment around the football. I thought their efforts in the second half in the centre square were a lot better and probably evened up the centre clearances there. But other than that, around the ground, they just at times turn the ball over too easily with hand and foot. Centrals, on the other hand, very rarely make mistakes. And when and if they do, they get it back together pretty quickly and end up registering goals. So at the moment, domination by the Dogs.
You're exactly right, Timmy. And with the Tigers, it is turnovers, that's all it is. And they need hard-running players in the second quarter, especially early. They needed to go with their players and give them an option. I just hope that they lift their head up in the second half and really have a crack at them.
So half-time here at Elizabeth, Central District commanding lead. 13-4-82 plays 4-4-28.
But we're here at Elizabeth Oval with Central Districts in the first half dominating. 9 goals in front at the moment with Stanley up, trying to get the tap down. Worked that out beautifully. Sold the dummy, gave it off to Moore. Drove it inside 50. Great pick-up and turn by Baldwin onto his left foot. This would be a great start to the Bays in the third term. Off to the left, just a little bit unfortunate. And behind the score. So the Bays open up to 4-5. Trailing Central's 13-4.
That was Marcus Baldwin's first touch of the ball today.
Oh,
Well, thank you, Ian Mogridge.
Thanks, Moggy. Just put that in.
4 bugger.
Now, this is interesting. Daniel Healy is kicking out from goal. That's how flexible this young man is. He's not down the other end kicking goals. He's kicking out, and he's found a target. That's a great kick. And that's found the Central's player in Arnott. He kicks it down at Danny Stevens. Oh, Chris Gowans is going to cut it off. Now, he'll just wait for a Central's player. He's looking across the ground, and that's where it goes. Steinberner's there with pace. He's got another one in Hicks on the other side. That's where it goes. Will it be cut off? Nathan Wood's too small. Hicks fends him off, comes back into the corridor, gives it to Stevens, who transfers it back over to Steinberner. They got running players, and they're streaming down, looking for Big Kynan forward. He takes a fantastic mark. He plays on. Now Hamby's back there. He's got to be strong here. No, he wasn't. It's gone to ground. Hamby will be disappointed with that. It goes to ground. It looks like the umpire will ball it up. And he's very lucky not to be ping-goaled the ball.
Look, that was a mess. I actually thought Ford really didn't give any of his forwards any chance. Hamlin was the only one down there. And I thought the Bays should have turned that ball over easily.
They go at it again. Well done by Sherwood. Didn't pick the ball up. Cochrane gets it. It's smothered beautifully. That's well done by Byrne. He's going to lift his work rate, hopefully. Off to Contessa. Now Mackenzie's there. You've got David Yowens. He's got no one to go to at all. It goes over to Winstanley. He's got a bit of space. Now this is where they fall in trouble, Glenelg. He's got Byrne. That's where it's got to go. But the kick had to be spot on. And it's cut off by Big Fighting Arado, who plays it extremely straight on. Goes to Stevens. Chris Gowans is there. Steinberner's running. He goes back into the corridor with a long bomb. That was to no one, or he gives his player a chance. And that might be Walton.
Yeah, it is.
That was a strong mark by Walton, but geez, he showed confidence in his player then.
Just watch Sujay Cook then, just for future reference, Sujay. He just let him come into him, and what you actually got to do is take his space from him, take it up early, and then come back.
Exactly right, Timmy. Now Walton lines up, and he has slotted it through. That's his second. So the Doggies could start. Got a point to Glenelg and a goal down to the Doggies. They go 14-4, 82 to Glenelg, 4-5-29.
You just watch it again, because when you've laxed the height, which Sujay does against a player like Walton, you just have to take his space a little earlier than that and not allow him to get his arms up in the air like that. So, you know, come across, take his space, and then come back. Wayne Carey is probably the best exponent at it. He used to just, yeah, he was, where he used to take people's space, knock into them, and then come back and take the mark.
Sujay Cook just giving away around the 12 centimetres. Just a casual 12 centimetres there. Hanby has spread the ball around, and finally Stevens comes through the middle, bombs it long. That sets up Hicks, who takes the mark easily. They cut it off. Hopwood is clear on the far side, and Central's away and running again. Hopwood, his option was to go wider.
He's working hard, Walton, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And, well, generally speaking, so Centrals, and I guess in converse, the Bay's just not working hard enough to make up for some basic skill errors that they've made. Ford gets his body to the front for the tricolours. working on the ground. Well,
Get that
Glenelg would actually be happy with that. They managed to keep it in and eventually get it over the line. The umpire prepared to put his whistle away just for a moment.
Gelbamar did well to just eventually get rid of that.
Just with Stevens' kick there into the forward line, like Damien Hicks just sucked off the kick, went back and took up all the space of Marcus Baldwin, and he consequently kicked straight to him. So they need to use the ball going through the half-forward line.
Contessa, another intercept almost. Irvin rather, gets the ball, kicks it high towards the wing. Pareto was over the back. He got first hands on it. Now he's got hands on it again. Can't get a clean possession. Walton can, holding it in one hand. Byrne put pressure on Hicks, who did a little bit of a tumble. Didn't help him any. Now McKenzie for the Bays. Off the Byrne, the captain. Good little dummy. Now he comes inside. Well done, Woods. At centre half forward takes the mark. Steinberner couldn't close him down. And I guess in many ways this is the way that the Bays can hurt Centrals, because Centrals are reading the play and swarming off their player. And on the turnover, Woods has a chance.
I can't believe he's just walked backwards when he had Baldwin by himself in the square, and then he's looking to pass it off.
He does pass it off, not all that well, hey Michael, but they do have possession, at least the Bays, and they've been struggling for that. McKenzie now pops it up in the goal square, and Baldwin with the big leap. The Rove comes to Moore. Moore should go, he does. And they need more of that.
Well, they've done a couple of really good offhand stuff in front of the pack on the 10-yard square. They just haven't done obviously enough ball down there to do that. But both Woods and Moore, really good goals from snaps off the front of packs here. Just have a look at this. Right off the hands, well roved around his body. Look like Kimmy Hodgman.
It looks like it's his bread and butter and he's his nephew, so he should look like him. But well done by Benny.
Too much like him.
Too much, yes. Well, he's got the same number on as well, and his hair's, well, getting like his uncle anyway.
Down the same plug hole.
Well, you know, Baldwin, he needs to demand the ball. Michael picked it beautifully. They need to kick to him. Now, Contessa's working hard. Well done. The Bays are in now. Burns got it. He's got a player in Stevens running for him. He's going to kick it long, and he kicks to no one again. And Central's just mop up. Now, that's their bread and butter. Now, the Central's players, there's 3 or 4 for him. Hicks just takes a pick. He's got Healy, no. He goes to Cochrane, who goes on to James Gowans. Kicks it along to Walton, who's been busy this first quarter, this third quarter. He centres the ball. Simon Nicholas is there, and he takes a nice mark. He'll transfer play. Now, the Bays need to stream over to this wing to give them something to kick to. They're using it. Comes back to Sherwood. Sherwood kicks. He's found Woods.
And I'm going to come back to it again. Right now, the Bays should be just busting their butts through the centre to try and create some space on the half-forward flank. 4 of them walking through the centre square. There's just not enough run in this Glenelg midfield.
Well, Michael, you need to yell out to him.
Somebody gets paid to do that,
That's
mate.
right, yes.
I'm an honorary boundary rider.
That's right. Well, David Yeomans has got it. Now he's looking for Baldwin. Herrera's just a block there. He's going to stop him. He goes up. Good contest by Baldwin. They mop up through James Gowans. Goes to Healy. Herrera's got it. Danny Stevens next. They're just Walton's next. He'll get it. Off to Ford, who's got about 3 or 4 metres. Simon Nicholas, great punch. Costa's there. Can't pick it up. He does now. Back to Nicholas. He's going to go alone. He's got Byrne on the wing. Goes to Sujay Cook. And he's going to mark it. Goes on to Byrne now. And it's Irving. Now, what can they do here? Contessa wants it. That's where it goes. Now, he's got McKenzie over this far side. Sherwood's next. They're trying to get some assist at the base. Just don't turn it over. Off to Polly. Polly kicks long to Baldwin. Not a very good kick, but it's out in front. He tries to juggle it. Well done by Geister. Hamby's there. Steinberner over the top. And the umpire, oh, hang on, he's picked something out. And it's going to go to Nathan Woods inside 50.
The free kick was perhaps pushing him off the contest when he didn't have the ball, but just have a look at it on replay. Just trying to get it out there. Where was that?
It was off the ball.
Jumped into it.
Okay, so off the ball, somebody's pushed him.
He lines up Woods. It's not a very good kick off the boot. Goes right to the heart of the square. It's punched away, still in play. Contessa working hard. That's great work by Willett. Willett centres the ball, but it's all doggies. And Healy puts it over for a rush behind.
Again, the numbers. I mean, you see Centrals when they want to centre into the corridor, or they snap to the top of the square or something, they all know where it's going to be. The Bays have done that a couple of times today. There's been about 4 Centrals blokes sitting there.
No time for huddles for Centrals. They just work the ball as quick as they can. And look at this. They've just got players running everywhere. Out on the far side of the ground, it's Walton. You mentioned already that he's been prominent. Get Moggy to give us a stat in a moment as Denny Stevens, brave, tracked that ball back and centred it up, and another mark. Oh, they've got options everywhere. And Chris Gowans has the option of kicking a goal from about 50 metres out.
Yeah, he could have raffled it.
They just hit their targets, don't they? And they've got great commitment, straight line footballs.
Well, how does Walton get so far clear?
I don't know, but he's had 6 possessions, he's scored 5 kicks and a handball.
Chris Gowans has a goal, so it was his second, and one of the leading goal-kicking options for Centrals kicks another goal for them.
I had him down for 1 in the first term and the third term. Good mark. Might have been his brother.
Yeah.
Good leg.
Well, I get close to him in state training and I still can't pick him. One's got a scar on the butt of his right eye. That's about all I know. So,
Geez, you have to get some powerful binoculars to see that.
We're going to pick that up from here, aren't we?
Well, there's a technique, mate. You give the other one a real big roundhouse left,
Yeah.
give him a bruise, and you'll be right.
well, I'll leave it up to you, Michael. You're used to doing that in the past. As it goes to David Yeomans, Benny Moore's there. Oh, he's taken high. Will he see it? Yes, he has. Now, Willett's running for him. Hope he gets up quick. Steinberg has got the ball. Gives it back to him. Now, they want to get something moving. He's got Robertson. No, he's missed him. That's Irving. He's paid it. Well done, Irving. He's in the line up for goal. He's right on the 50.
Steinberner did okay there, but if you see the replay, if we can show it again, he's just interfered with him without looking at the ball. I reckon if you can run back, just have a look at that, just took his eyes off the ball and gone the man. That's when they'll always play it free. Found that out by doing it myself several times.
Well, he lines up. He kicks to the heart of the square. Baldwin's up high. Yes, a great mark.
He's been promising to do it for a while, hasn't he?
Fantastic mark by Marcus Baldwin.
Obviously got a great vertical leap.
Yes.
Didn't have any trouble getting over that pack.
That's right. Well, let's see if his nose bleeding. He got that high. Now, he had a good game last week. He kicked 5. He's had 1 kick. This will be his 2nd kick. He lines up. And that's his first goal. The much-needed one for the Tigers.
Just got to keep persisting. Just got to keep persisting and keep trying to do all the hard things. You know, Central's, their biggest threat is to just overuse the football, and then if you get the opportunity to turn it over, practice on using the ball properly and trying to get some options. But I agree with Mike Parsons. He's been harping on it most of the day. They're not sprinting to space when their teammates do get the ball. They're not providing more targets and more options for them. Consequently, they're outnumbered when the ball hits a contest. It's always sort of 3 or 4 to 1.
They've certainly increased their work rate this quarter, though. 51 possessions to 32 for the Tigers so far.
Well, it's work rate. That's what they need.
Margin 52 points, and they get the ball forward again through Mackenzie Stevens. This time as Michael went back and took the mark. Paredes running for him on the far side of the ground, and that's where he'll go. Umpire says no, that he wants to take it downfield another 25. Just a little closer to goal for Centrals. Hereda continues to run down unmarked on the far side, or unregistered if you like, because he's an unregistered dog. And Hereda still unmarked on the far side of the ground. Stevens, though, goes with the team rule and goes long. Arnold was a target. From behind, Arnold almost took the mark. It came forward to Hopwood. He's down from half-back, just looking for another goal. And eventually the umpire will come in, call for the ball. Separate, fellas. Clinches that you didn't see in that title fight yesterday between Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson. There weren't too many clinches in that. They were mainly solid lefts from the big guy from Britain.
Just quickly saw the Glenelg bench in Yeomans, Dvorsky and Robertson.
So the ball kicked out of defence, just no option really. And the Bays get it out towards the half-forward line for Centrals. So the Bay's working hard, working overtime, in fact doing most of their time in defence at the moment.
They're certainly making an impact in the third term. They've gained 2 points since half time. It's more so their work rate has improved.
Well, a little farm out the back, found Mackenzie. Mackenzie's off the side of the boot into the middle. He'll track it and mark it. Nice mark. Wheels around on the left leg, and he's got Cochrane loose, but he opts to go and try and bring some rain at Elizabeth Oval. He comes forward. Mackenzie did the row. Very well done at the front of the pack. And Tim Pfeiffer, the umpire, will stroll in and have another bounce inside the forward 50 for Centrals.
In front and centre, but that was where it ended. Once he got possession of it, he was swamped by Central's players.
Well, Danny Stevens wasn't too happy. He thought it should have gone to him, and he's had plenty of it today. As we go up, big thump by Nicholas with that big left hand. Steinberner picks it up. He's got a few options in that man, Danny Stevens. He's held onto the ball. He's given a little tunnel handball. Glenelg player down, and the umpire will ball it up. Right on the half-forward line for the Doggies. Alistair Clarkson looking quite relaxed in the box. Willett gets it out to Polly. As Contessa. That one just about did bring rain. Hopwood with the team roll over the boundary line with a punch.
Yeah, they can reset, go again, try and get some clean movement going. Haven't had a lot of it, Centrals, this term, because the Bays are being very competitive one-on-one.
Now Hopwood's gone back to help his defenders as he brings it into the boundary throw-in, picked up by McGowan. He's missed his target, picked up by Sherwood. Now this is where they're going to fall down. They fall down. Steinberg, and he's got players everywhere in the centre. He opts to go to young Cochrane, who can't take the mark. Stevens pressures off to Woods with the hands. He wheels down, gets on that right, and he kicks blindly, and there's that wall. Now he's got Central players all in the centre. It's a shocking handball by Slade. Benny Moore mops it up. Oh, they've got it back somehow. They've got Gowans, Herrera, Hicks, all running on that outer wing. Danny Stevens screaming for it in the centre. Going to his brother. It goes over the back with Costa. He's going to mop up, goes to Sherwood with a shocking handball. This looks dangerous, but well done by Sherwood to bring it in. And there it is, the turnovers again, Tim. We talk about it time and time again.
Yeah, Central just through pressure and numbers got the ball back when it should have been turned over. But did you see them all in the middle? They all just creep up from defence, run down that middle corridor, switching the play.
Well, Central's trying to get it out. Nicholas gets a hands. It's out now. The Bays are out of it. Byrne gets it. He comes to the wing, goes to Moore. Moore's going to take the mark. Now, David Yeomans, he needs to run into space here if he can get it quickly. It's a big responsibility for a young man, but Benny Moore's got no options at all. David Yeomans, that's where it goes. He doubles back beautifully, and that's his game. He needs to move it quickly. Marcus Baldwin needs to move. It's going to go back short over to Willett. He's got Benny Moore running for him. They've got to be a good shiver by Mackenzie. He goes to Baldwin. It's not a very good kick. It's kept in by Hanby, who does straight go for the corridor, straight in front of the goals. But there's there's 7 Centrals players there, and there's a far blow. He's got 100 metres on his own, Walton, and he's going to transfer the play. So Contessa's in the middle. He's going to run hard to the backline player, where Walton just strolls down the wing. He kicks it long to McGowan. McGowan picks it up, and they go over the boundary line.
Wasn't a great kick in the end, but Hamby did everything he could to keep the ball in as he brought it back into the corridor. You were right, 7-1, and they just ran and ran and ran. But probably disappointed Ben Walton with his disposal then to Rick McGowan. Probably should have got more out of the turnover.
So they've averaged 142 points this season, and they might muck up that average if they don't get a move on Centrals. They haven't used the ball well this term. Here's Willett for the Bays. Just a hand pass, made Stevens wait for it. Stevens gave it back to him, pursued by Cochrane. Stevens gets it back. Now there's a lot of space in front of him, and he's just taking too long over the ball. He's chased down. The umpire calls him for holding the ball, and I thought that was pretty rough, Tim.
Yeah, fair effort, but look, the pressure was on. You know, when I say about Central's defence, they'll all push up and run and run and run. Glenelg, while that piece of play was happening, 6-7 blokes behind centre-half back, not moving.
Some of the sloppiest work I've seen from Centrals here, and when Stanley gives the short arm at Slade, and in turn the umpire comes in and rewards Slade for his attempted tackle, and I reckon that might be a report. It's certainly 25 metres for Winstanley. And where's the hook, Michael?
Oh, look, he knows he's made a mistake here. Timmy Pfeiffer's probably been kind to him, just giving him 25.
Very, very ordinary from Mr. Winstanley. I can feel the hook getting warmed up on the sideline.
Oh, just to calm him down even, because that is a really serious incident. You've got to be careful of those ones.
Well, this game hasn't been too bad today, and I really don't think they can afford to take him off. That's the reason he probably won't come off. But meanwhile, the Dogs go into attack. Now, the Tigers are working hard there.
Here comes the runner.
Yeah, well, I hope it's just a talking to, but, you know,
I think
umpires picked something out.
Yeah, as soon as he did it, I think he realised that he made a mistake now. It's Polly, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been hit in a very awkward position. Oh, see on the replay. Oh, that might have been a forearm jolt. Now, where Stanley's coming off. It's a report. It is too.
Yeah. That's
Shane, it's Chris Gowans.
Was it?
Was it Chris
I
Gowans?
thought it was Ben Walton.
Walton.
Yeah. Ben Walton's been reported. Ooh. I don't know. I'm not sure how you write that one down on the sheet, Michael.
Yes.
Oh, Michael stuck for words. Haven't heard that too often.
The Bays get the free. Sujay's got it. They're trying to get it moving. Bays, they want a long kick, but there's no one there. Picked up by Healy, who's got options galore. He's found Stevens. Here you go for the short option. He's found Cochrane in the pocket now, and Nicholas punches it over the board.
They've kept the pressure up the Bays. They've kept the one-on-one stuff. They've been far more desperate and committed with their bodies. And it's probably frustrated Centrals at times because they are used to just advancing in every term.
Just 2 goals apiece in the third term. So Nicholas will go against Ford. Here's McGowan, and Cook read that well. Would have been happy with an intercept like that in a game of rugby league. Just belts it forward. Woods fighting hard. Couldn't see the ball for the trees in front of him, Woods. And off to Steinburner eventually. He comes clear.
3-on-3 contest, and they won again.
A poor turnover from Steinburner. I think Alistair Clarkson might be a little bit perturbed by some of this stuff that's going on. James Byrne goes across the ground to 3-on-2, and as a result, Healy turns over the ball for Centrals. Gee, I tell you what, they're doing a lot of favours.
It's become infectious.
Yeah, Tasborski now.
These guys had a quick look at the mini league at half time. Said, we want to play just like them.
Well, thank you, Michael. Taborski gets it on to Contessa. Now he's got a player wide. That's where it's going to go. He's got to take the mark, and he has, and that's Irvin. Oh, yes. He's inside 50. That's promising for the Bays.
Well, he has to kick it now.
He certainly
has
does.
to kick it because Baldwin was on his own in the square. If he had a kick, kept going or looked up at one stage, he would have hit him.
Well, Marcus Baldwin, he needs to be screaming at his players to kick the ball quickly to him. And instead of just dropping the head, you need to demand the ball. Now, Irwin goes to the kick. It looks all right off the boot, so he's done the right thing.
He had to do it. He had to kick it, Clayton, after he missed the target. And he's finished it off well, Nathan Irvin. Got the goal, and much rewarded effort for running down. I mean, that's been probably criticism of the first half for a lot of A players. And Contessa's just worked really hard, kept himself and his work rate up. And he's hit the target running back with it, Nathan Irvin, who went back and nailed a very important goal for him.
Well, Central's 15-4-94. Glenelg 7-6-48. So they go at it again, close to three-quarter time. They get it out through Bello. He sends it forward. There's players up everywhere, and that's a great mark. That is fantastic by Hamblin. And Centrals have got forwards galore. Hamblin yet to kick a goal. They've had a few scoring shots. They've had a few scorers. And Hamblin lines up. Well done by Bello getting it out in the centre. He's a quality player, quality rover. Hamblin off the boot. He lays back in it. And the umpire, what's he doing? He's kicked it. So the Doggies get their 16th. Close to three-quarter time. Well done to Murray Handel. It was a good mark in a pack situation.
Yeah, ball was just brought in long, and after a couple of little spills, he took the grab and finished off a pretty important goal. But it's been 3 goals apiece in this term, and I don't think Alistair Clarkson will be pleased because they are used to advancing in each term.
Well, they go it again, close to three-quarter time. And umpires pick something out. It's a free to the Dogs. Someone's infringed the square. It's going to be Scholar. He's going to look to dish it off. Steinberger's running for him, and that's where it goes. He's going to kick long. And they're all lining up. Goes up, good punch. Well done. Now Hamby's there, he's going to cut it off. He wants to play on quickly now. He's got 3 of the Bay players over that far side. Sher goes inside, haven't seen much of him today. Goes on to Big Irvin, he's been busy looking to David Yeomans. That's nearly a mark to him. Hicks mops up. He's got players everywhere. He's got 3 in the centre. They raffle it off to Scholar. He looks for Big Conan forwards, too far over the top of him. Here's Slade. Slade goes on the left, looking for a goal. It's hit that post. He'll be disappointed with that, Slade.
Wasn't a bad performance, wasn't a bad effort, but just hit the post. Now that's 3-1 to Centrals, 3-2 to the Bays. Just some stats. 8-1 Centrals have won 3/4 the third term this year. So the Bays could, well, it's an upset, make it 8-2.
Well, they kick it out straight down the middles and the way they should go. And they wrap it up right on the centre half forward position for the Central Districts. So late in the quarter, the Doggies with a commanding lead, 16-5, 101 to Glenelg, 7-6, 48. There's players everywhere. They shovel it back at Stevens. Hamby gets it. He's got Nick Yeomans running for him. Goes to Willett. Good mark. He wants to transfer. He should have given the ball. He's running on with Byrne. And this is where they need to do something. Marcus Baldwin, he's on the lead. He doubles back. Oh, it's a shocking kick by Byrne. And it's kept in play. Just tumbles over the boundary line.
Yeah, perhaps it was planned. Perhaps, oh no, I can't tell you that at all. It was blatantly off the side of his boot. And lucky to bounce inside in the end. Lucky they got deep pockets here at Elizabeth.
53 points to margin, as we see just about to the 27-minute mark. And Yeomans and Nicholas both going against Schooler, rather. And they take an ordinary kick. I don't know what they were trying to do there with Steinberger. He's found Irvin, though. Just happens to be wearing the wrong coloured jumper.
Yeah, Nathan Steinberger has worked really hard in this game, but this third term, he's probably had 3 or 4 possessions that really haven't been anywhere near their target, and that was a real dangerous one, and Nathan Irvin will finish it off.
So he does finish the job, and that's 2 to Irvin in this quarter.
He's had 9 possessions this quarter.
Yeah, well, running down, as Tim mentioned before, running down from the wing, he's been rewarded, and he's got a couple of goals, and that one was an absolute gift horse that he didn't look in the mouth.
Yeah, well, look, he had a couple of moments in the second term that weren't great for him, but he's just kept persisting, Nathan Irvin, and worked down again and intercepted a ball. Now, they're alert to the way Centrals do cross in defence, and on that occasion, it didn't come off.
Yes, and the red, white and blue hook came out that time, and Steinberger sits down. The worst part of that for Glenelg is that it's Switala that comes on, and he's played a pretty impressive game so far.
They've won the term, Neil.
They have won the term, so now they've lost their third quarter of the year, Central District. Thing is, they've won pretty much everything else. So at three-quarter time, Central District 16-5, 101, and Glenelg 8-6, 54.
As we go up, won by Winstanley, great tap to McKenzie. Now Contessa's got a bit of space on Hopwood. He's going inside, which is a good move. He's got Willett that can go to him. No problem, no, it's gone to Arnott. He takes a good mark. He's got Central's players everywhere.
They fill in the holes well.
They do. Harada, he's got Cochrane, that's where it goes. Nice kick. Their skill level's so high here at Central Districts. He's got Hopwood running down. Sujay Cook's seen him. Oh, it's a big leap. And he's forced it over the far side boundary line.
It was a great effort. It was, you know, 2-1, and he had to get there and make sure it got over the boundary line to just give his players time to reset.
He gets up high for a little man. Sujay. Now it is dark here, Neil. You can see Sculler gets it out. Working hard is Cochrane. Good tackle by Costa on Healy. He's got it out to Slade. They're good at moving the ball quickly forward under pressure. And they gain 20 metres. It goes out in the half-forward line for Centrals.
And the Glenelg bench to start this last quarter, Paul Sherwood, Ben Moore and Simon Nichols sit.
On the far side of the ground, and Arnold just palms the ball down. Kimmy Costa working hard in there. Crossed from South Adelaide to play at the Bays this season, supposedly rejuvenated, but he hasn't found too many wins, unfortunately.
Hasn't found too much of the ball either today, 3 and 4.
Thanks for that, Moggy. This is 7 possessions. Bello off to Gowans. They sweep it across to Hopwood, who just bombs it up high. They might lose sight of that. It is getting dark, as we said. And finally, Danny Stevens just towed it forward. Oh, an unselfish two from Michael Stevens. Just watching the ball hobble along and eventually over the line for a goal.
Great work.
Well, that's his 4th goal, and couldn't have done it more majestically, really. How many bounces did he get this way and that, and eventually got through the right way? But you just have a look at the way the twists and turns. This is Australian rules football. And it turns and twists everywhere, and then gets a beautiful one to cut back. Amazing set of circumstances. But look, Danny Stevens is a really good forward. Front centre again. Quick crumb, quick kick. He's watching it himself thinking, how's that going to get through?
Well, it was an interesting kick, and they go again with Stanley up. Scholar one at that time, goes to McKenzie. Goes that contest away. Hicks is good enough. Taps it on to Bello, who works hard all the time. He switches back on his right foot, looking for Chris Gowans. Oh, Sujay Cook has nearly grabbed him out. And Chris Gowans is going to get the free. Sujay, did he have eyes on the ball? I'd like to see a replay of that.
Just times where you've got to know when to commit and when not to. And that one, he probably could have hurt his own man.
He moves it quickly to Slade. Slade goes to the heart of the square. It's bounced, it's been touched and forced over for a rush behind.
First goal was important, and Central's got it. Just because I reckon Central's want to get back on their feet and start playing the football that they were used to in that first half. It really hurt Bradley Stevens in. Look at that.
Bradley
Hurt himself.
Stevens, yeah, Bradley Stevens is still limping around out there. Don't worry about that. So, ball in onto the far side of the ground. And again, Arnold just trapping the ball in one hand, feeds it off. Schooler, they stayed off him. Now Arnott delivers with a low pass. Michael Stevens can only get one hand to it. Cook gets 2, gets a free kick as well.
Yeah, just got taken high in the tackle, but just can't give Central's players, because at their high school level, as much time as what they do to deliver. Just got to have pressure at them all the time. And I thought they did it well in the 3rd term, the Bays.
So kicks wide. That's a nice little mark from Hanby. Might ask Michael in a moment whether the number of players walking through the middle that he's talked about a couple of times today would suggest that the reason they can't put on the pressure the Bays is maybe they're not fit enough. So the ball down towards half forward. Willett got his man under the ball. Woods took it. Nicely done. Runs around in circles.
Yeah, he's a natural footballer.
Off to Irvin. Irvin's delivery was well done to Baldwin, and that was a nice lead. He got a break on his man, took a nice mark, and will line up for goal.
Nathan Irvin is a good exponent of the kick. He's a brilliant, skilled player, but Lil Woods is just a natural footballer. He's going to get better and better.
Nathan Woods is also a very, very good cricketer. He's played A grade for uni, I think, and so he's got a few strings to his bow.
Baldwin, as we said, kick 5 last week. He's got 1 this afternoon. He had 11 possessions against South Adelaide and 5 marks for his 5 goals. Ex-Geelong player comes in. And, gee, that's a nice long kick, and it's straight, and it's over the umpire's hat. And that's what you want, a goal for the Bays.
That's a really good kick. That's very similar to Ben Walton's in the first term when he nailed it from the same pocket. It was a good lead. It was a really good finish. Nathan Irvin, just beautiful deliverer of the football out in front. Now, Geis has been fantastic today, but there's nothing a defender can do about passes like that, and that's what you want. Good lead by Baldwin and a very, very good leg to finish off.
Great finish.
Neil, sorry.
You're on, Michael.
Come back to Neil's point about the fitness of the Bays. I think it's a mental decision first. I've got to run. The fitness shows up halfway through the run, not at the start of it.
Well, Byrne's going to get it out. He's got Sujay Cook with Slade running after him. He's going to help him out again. He's got to get on boot. He does that. Bays are up in numbers. Central's come up with it. Chris Gowan's good shepherd. It's on to Cochrane. A neat little checky over to Bello, who goes on and turn to Hamblin, who kicks for a goal. Is it going to go through? Oh, it's... Oh! Well, that was interesting. Tim, I'd like to see your rendition on that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, he wants the Danny Stevens bounce. That's what he wants. And then great effort by Walton to sort of jump up, bring it ball to foot, just missed. There was another effort, but went into the post. Yeah. Danny Stevens nearly got another one.
The umpire signalled it went into the post, but I reckon that's the only thing it didn't touch. Let's have another look.
Just have a look. Good effort there. Oh. Misses. Boom. Might have just scraped it. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Umpire's closer than us. In any case, didn't see who it was, but one of the Bays boys got a hand on the ball anyway, as that man, Danny Stevens, almost socketed it through mid-air. Would have been proud of that at the World Cup. Now the Bays working hard off half-back. Cochrane knows, benefited by the kick and punches it to Slade, who uncharacteristically, but then again characteristically for Centrals today, fumbles the ball. He goes back in to recover his error, and Yeomans ties him up, and the umpire will bounce near the centre of the central square.
Just been a bit off the ball, Matthew Slade today. He's, normally very, very clean and committed, and today just a little bit off the ball, not taking things as well as he normally would.
Well, contestant, he had Byrne on the wing, and he didn't even see him. He could have run all the way down. The Bays get it out. They're working hard. Goes to that man, Byrne, to Stevens. Now he's got Polly there. He ignores him and goes to Hanby. That's a great kick. Now we need runners here. Glenelg, they need to rush forward. You can see that, Michael, that the Bay players are staying back. It goes to, the man Irvin. He's worked hard and takes a diving mark right on the 52-metre mark.
Just kept persisting today, Nathan Irvin. Really worked himself into the contest.
He's looking for options.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to it for one last time. Kimmy Costa was in the middle when Slade caused the ball up. He's managed to walk 25 metres to centre-half forward in that passage of play.
Well, Byrne hoping. Central's plenty there. They're going to run it out. Costa, he's in and under. He did well on 3. He gets it to Hamby. Onto is that Robertson? Yep. It is to Robertson, and I think he's kicked a point. Unfortunate for the lad. But...
That's what I talk about, running to be where the ball is, and if you can get to as many contests as possible, a bloke like Kimmy Costa especially is going to earn enough football because he's courageous enough to get his head over the top of it.
As you see, they've huddled up again, the Bays, or rather gone man-on-man, and Centrals have huddled up, and it's just been a quick release, and Slade was the target, and Slade comes forward now, looking for Hamblin, 2001 reserves, best and fairest for Centrals, takes the ball, kicks it along the half-forward line. Stevens did well, took front position, or rather that was Scher who took front position for the Bays. Unfortunately, the ball comes to the front. Danny Stevens is there and cruising through the middle as Cochrane over the top. Walton into open goal, another one coming up for Centrals. So 3 goals to that man on screen, Ben Walton, and it's just been, well, when they break open the play and they allow their skills to take the ball forward, Centrals are just hard to put down, Tim.
That's just the finish of it, but this stuff over on the far wing here, Danny Stevens' kick to centre to Cochrane was absolutely brilliant. That's vision. That's good peripheral vision, which a good player must have. And Danny Stevens, for mine, such a value for touches man.
And Richard Cochrane's impressed me today, playing his 8th game of football. He's been in a couple of positions where he's had to keep a cool head, and he's done that very, very well.
Well, the Bays get it. There's a fumble, straight turnover. Chris Gowans gets it out to Healy, who does a little checky on the left foot, goes to Scholar, onto Cochrane, who's been busy, off to Chris Gowans, who's going to just play on, look for his full forward. They punch away. Glenelg at front square. Michael Stevens. Ricky McGowan's just come on the ground to replace James Gowans. He's tied up. Stevens tries to get it out. It goes to Michael Stevens now. He's not going to just cough it up. Stevens gets it back in a hope. Hamby's there. He did well. Back to Stevens. The Bays are out of it. I don't know how, but they aren't. That man Irvin again looked inside to Contessa, who's going to give it to Hamby. Now he's got players in the middle. If he can just get it to Benny Moore, he's on the half-forward line all alone. Well done to Polly. Here it is. He's going to get it in a minute. Sher gets it. He's got two players running. It goes to Dung Woodsy. He's caught with two. Unlucky. Had his work cut out. There's Swaltala. Cuppa gets a couple of quality players who releases on. He's got Arnold. He goes on to Healy. And Ricky McGowan's 50 metres by himself. He's got Danny Stevens in the middle, and that's where it's going to go for his 5th goal, if he likes.
He'll go back now and have a shot. Don't worry about that. Why not? 30 metres out. Plenty of time. Plenty of space. Turnover at half forward again for Glenelg.
Interesting, Tim, compare those two forward entries.
Yes.
Well, kicking it 2-man to Woods over in that pocket, but Danny Stevens, has he nailed it? He's got his 5th of the day. He's worked hard.
Look, he's just a quality player. Like I said, 5 goals, 1 is value for touches, but it was, you know, Neil Cross makes the point. The comparison between the two entries into the forward line, it's probably been like that all day as well. Bar the 3rd quarter where I thought the Bays got on top. Centrals have just been so much better with the way they bring the ball in and so many options. And that's a part of their work rate and their sprinting to space so that they have got more than one option. It makes it very hard on the defence.
With 19 goals, 7 today, that's Central's most inaccurate game in the last 3 weeks. They've kicked 81 goals, 23.
There's Ian Moggridge. The ball will be another free kick, courtesy of the umpires to Bello, and now Stevens flanks around the back, and then his left foot was perfect. Steinberner took the mark, had a look around, he's wanting to share it. Matthew Sher, the man on the mark, is standing 45 metres from goal.
They're just trying to man up players. They're not standing next to them, they're just trying to shield them 3 metres away from each other. And the Central skills are that good that they're going to hit the players every time.
So here's Steinberner, kicks from just inside the 50. It may just make it, it won't. It's punched to the front as it turns out. They want to get it out of bounds, at least the Bays. And they have another setup now opportunity for Centrals, and this is another area that they really excel in.
Ricky McGowan was desperate to keep that ball in and keep it alive. You never know what you can create out of nothing.
So the ball tapped over the back, and Walton, who's taken high according to the umpire, his snap at goal was a minor score, so he will come back for a set shot. He'll be only 35 metres out and almost directly in front, and an opportunity to kick his 4th.
Let's have a look on replay. Tackle just slightly high, technically correct. Bit soft.
Oh, I don't even know if it was technically correct.
It is disappointing, but you've got to try and shield the ball in the player's arms. You can't go high at any cost.
Yeah. They have tackled a couple of times high, haven't they, today? And it is a good point. Get down low, wrap those arms up especially.
Ben Walton, back from his stint in the AFL, and kicks truly. So for Walton, that is his 4th. And Walton and Danny Stevens, the only players to get among the goal kickers in this final quarter. They've got 2 each, 4 all up for the Dogs. And that scoreline now, 20 goals, 7, 127 to 97, 61.
Well, they've got back to their discipline, because I thought they probably just a little bit off the rails in the 3rd term, and today, in the last term, they've got themselves back on the rails and made sure that they've cleaned this up and made sure this was a good victory.
The fat lady might not be singing. Perhaps, Timmy, you'd like to.
To put some weight on.
Bello with pace, kicks long to the forward line. He's up high. There's Centrals at the back. It's Arnott. Arnold couldn't get it. Goes to Sher, and he's happy to take it over.
Yeah, they're hungry now. They want to finish this off, Centrals. They're hungry, you can tell it. They're back alive. Everybody's trying to get hold of the football. Everybody's running.
The only person not running is the captain of the club in Daniel Healy, who has taken a round of applause after a good game as he sits down.
Well, they go at it, and it's going to go over again.
And I suspect Paul Sherwood will be coming off with what looks to be some sort of hand injury. He looked in trouble after that last collision. Just looking towards the bench there.
They bring it in the boundary. Bellows working hard with him and Sherwood. It's a clumsy tackle. He could have got a free, Walton.
It wasn't in front of goal this time. Might not have won it. That's right.
Here it is, we see it on replay. He was sort of vibrating. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Sujay. Chris Gowers, oh, he's taken high. Now there's a free off the ball, Sujay. Now what can he do with it? They're trying to stream out. He's got to go down the line, which he does. Irving's there. And Sherwood's good mark by Willett. Now, he's got no one to kick to, so he's got to hold it up. He's found David Yeomans. Now, Hamby's in the centre if he wants him.
So that hesitation at not going short just causes them not to get over the line.
It's touched off the boot. Consequently, they pick it up. Hopwood's going to get it. He's going to give it to Bellow. Bellow can kick to... He's going to give it to Danny Stevens, who's kicked 5 today and lining up. He kicks long, looking for a Central's player. Who's up there?
Steinburner, good effort.
Straight through for a point.
Yeah, fabulous effort by Steinburner, running back with the flight, but in the end, there's always going to be a behind.
And they're well and truly lining up in the red, white and blue to kick a goal at the moment. He's Benny Moore, though, off to Willett at half forward, or rather half back for the Bays. Half forward, half back left. Willett, not a lot of options in front of him. He goes towards the centre of the ground. Irvin was the target, brought to ground. Well done. Breaking through half forward was Yeomans, Nicholas Yeomans, off to Woods. Woods has another player on the lead, and the mark taken by Baldwin. Well done.
See what I mean there, as he's a natural player? No panic, knew when to just drop the pass out, didn't try and blast away at goal. Just a natural player.
He certainly is a quality player. Well, Marcus Baldwin is got a chance for goals late.
Well, he hasn't had that much room all day, has he? I mean, at the end of the day, he's had 2 opportunities to lead mark, and those have been in the last quarter, and he's taken one and converted it. And here's Baldwin from 20 metres this time. Opportunity for his second goal for the quarter, 3rd overall, and he does it. No worries at all. Drops it home. So there's a little bit of heart for the Bay fans out there. But I'll tell you what, there's no doubt Central's a very, very good side.
That's correct. You're right, his value for touches has been okay. He's had 4 kicks and kicked 3, goal 1. But it's all been in this second half where the movement into the forward 50 has been a bit better by the Bays and given him an opportunity for some good marks in the league.
Will burn off for Mackenzie. Central District's 20 goals 8. Glenelg 10-7. We've played 18 minutes in this last quarter. Big men go at it. Schooler won it. Great run by Steinburner. Great hands. Central's players got it. It's in Hamlin. He dodges around. Irvin kicks long to the square. Oh, well done. That's Big Arnott. Big Arnold, he's got a chance to put the Doggies' 21st goal on. Just held his ground well.
Yeah, did it easily. Not a bad player one-on-one. And a bit of a luxury that they can throw one of those taller players down the pocket late in the game.
Well, he kicks it. Good finish. Marco Bella just congratulating him.
It's just a quickest, cleanest clearance out of the centre that you could want. Ricky McGowan's beautiful hands to Steinburner. Now Hamlin's effort to get around Irvin there. That's where you really got to watch the hips. Just drove it into a square, and not a Bay player touched the footy in that contest. From the centre through the full forward.
Just about into time on, approaching their averages for the year, Central, as in averaging 142 points for and 70 points against. At the moment it's 134 plays 67, so they're pretty close to being on average. Ball bounce back in the middle. And Stanley, I'll give him the benefit for that one. Irvin, he's been busy at least for the Bays. Now, looking for somebody to take a lead. Michael Polly kicks up long. His target ended up being Woods, who's perhaps the smallest man on the ground, much less the forward line for the Bays. Baldwin put his body in, and they swarm around. But again, Central's just the numbers and the teamwork that they have at the back. And finally, they clear it to this side of the ground. Arnott leads his man to the ball. Hamblin's on further down the ground. The kick wasn't the best. Hamblin able to trap it. Now he looks up, and he's got players leading for him. Arnold was one of them. He's just shoved under the ball, and the umpire agrees it was a shove. And the kick will go back to big Damien Arnold.
Yeah, that's not holding your ground.
And they've left the space to the middle. They left it, but in the end, he just pops it up in front of goal. If it comes to ground, Central's definitely have the numbers here. Sure did well, and content to rush a minor score.
Yeah, the panic's back on, and the pressure's on from the Dogs. They're not happy with their third term. They have just absolutely accelerated into the last term with 5 goals already.
Well, you knew they wouldn't have 2 bad quarters, Timmy.
No.
Now, Taborski to kick out. He's going for Irvin, who's been absolutely busy for the Tigers. Oh, not a good effort to mark. Steinman is unlucky not to get the free. He butters up. He's got Hotwood here, who can raffle it. He goes to the set spot. We've seen so many times. That's Kynan Ford. Takes a strong mark over the top of the Bay players.
Yeah, fair effort, fair mark, and just a disciplined structure all the time. He's really developing into a good centre-half forward.
He certainly is. He's going for his 3rd goal. There's been a couple of times today where he hasn't stuck to team rules, and he's just blazed early in the second quarter. But Alistair Clarkson, he's going to persist with the big man. He's lining up for his 3rd. It's a lovely kick off the boot. Umpire moves it. Oh, it's hit the post. They always make a lie of you, Tim.
Yeah, every time you put a rep on it, that's what happens. But he's kicked 2 today, and he would have been reasonably pleased to finish off with a hat-trick, but not to be.
Well, it's getting dark here. 21-10 Centrals. Glenelg 10-7, 22-minute mark. It's marked by Nicholas Yeomans. He wants to look to transfer play. That mightn't be a good idea because Walton's there lurking. He needs to kick down the line. He's found a player. It hasn't hit him. It's Byrne. Over to Hamby. Oh, nearly got caught. Nicholas Yeoman butters up. He kicks long. He's found McKenzie, juggled mark. He's lucky to take it. Danny Stevens applying a little bit of pressure. He doesn't like it. He plays on. He's looking for David Yeomans. It's a big job, and Hicks, with all the experience, goes back to the team play. Ricky McGowan's there. They go to the pocket. Geister's done well. Kicks long, looking for Big Scholar. Over Sujay Cook. Hopwood running on. We've seen this time and time again today. Danny Stevens with 1 bounce. Now, where will he go? He goes over to Chris Gowans, who could raffle it. He goes to the spot, looking for big Kynan forward. And that's a great mark by Hamblin. He's been busy this quarter. He's worked really hard.
Certainly has. Just cut across the front of the pack there. He took a good mark. Been very good since he's come on the oval too. Just made himself available and just got involved.
He's lining up for his 2nd goal. Doggies 21st. Will he convert? It's not a very good looking kick off the boot. But the Doggy supporters at the back like it. They don't get their 22nd goal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they look like, does it? They still register 6 points, and he's laughing about it, Murray, because that was end-on-end, sideways, you name it, and he got it through the big sticks, and that's the main thing, nice and cleanly. But they have really accelerated in the last term, disappointed with their 3rd. And again, targets galore. Kynan Ford really just sat there as a shield behind him, making sure that he took the mark.
Well, Chris Gowans, he didn't blaze. He went to the set play. They know they're going to kick it to leading into the forward line. He could have had a shot on goal, but he went to the spot. Consequently, everyone knows where it's going. Bellows been busy. Goes over. He's got Cocker on the wing. He's McGowan's on his own. Fresh legs. Chris Gowan wants it. It's going to go to him and takes a nice mark. He wants to play, and he's got a shot on goal. That's where it goes. And the Doggy supporters raise their flags again. That's another goal. The Doggies pouring it on this quarter. It's a good finish by Chris Gowans. That's his 3rd goal.
Yeah, he has hasn't been the most influential player today, but which is unusual, but he's still chipped in with his 3 goals, and you can't ask for better than that. I mean, they just set such high standards, the Gowans, now that I think we expect them to sort of be at the peak every week, but you'd still say from any other player on the ground that that's a fabulous game.
20 possessions for Chris Gowans today, and 27 goals, 6 for the season.
Very accurate.
Moggy, I need you. 81 points, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's starting to get hard to add up, especially in the gloom, looking at the scoreboard and that. But gee, it's starting to become a blowout, well and truly. 81 points, and let's have a look. And one now, they're past 9 against Glenelg at Elizabeth, assuming, of course, they get home this afternoon. And
oh, well, let's assume that, eh?
So they're past 9. Their average winning margin this season, 83.6 points. And as we just established, the margin 81 points at the moment. So they're a bit under average.
That's incredible, isn't it? That's an amazing average.
Well, there's only one player behind centre square, and that's the full forward line. They're all down the Glenelg forward line. It's marked by Marcus Baldwin. He's right on the 50 line. And he'll make the distance, no doubt about that. Central's 23-10, 148. Glenelg 10-7, 67 at the 26-minute mark.
Well, after all that effort in the third quarter to keep it tight, let the floodgates open.
Certainly have always gone for the old torpedo. It's not a bad looking kick off the boot. I tell you what, it's touched on the line by Geister. That's a good effort by Baldwin.
It was a fair effort at the barrel. Didn't quite get onto it, but it travelled and travelled. So had he really timed it well, it might have gone all the way.
Well, Arnold's out here. They come to this far side. He had no one running. There's a lot of Central's tired legs out there. And no one running at all, so he just pops it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Dominated the contest once again, the Dogs.
Well, James Gowan's coming on for Ricky McGowan. And he'll go on the forward line. Now, well, it's a bit of a throw out there for the Glenelg player. Mackenzie's working hard, trying to shuffle it forward. Ryan Herrera's there, he's got no one. Good smother. Well done by David Yeomans. I don't know how it's got through there, but Benny Moore's ended up with it. And he's gone for Nathan Woods. Great work by Cochrane. He's actually standing up as a good player. Oh, bad mistake. That's by Chris Gowans. You don't see that too often. Central's rushed forward. They're looking for James Type. He's got him. He's just come off the bench. Steinburn is here if he wants him. He goes straight to Danny Stevens. Well,
yeah, he can make mistakes and have time to clean them up and get it down the centre corridor. So just at times, the Bays a couple of times using Nathan Woods as their target. He's got to be rover height. You've got to ignore that, try and find another target, but Danny Stevens will finish off.
Well, it's a bit of a helicopter, Timmy, but he's got his 6, I reckon. That's a great effort.
Yeah, not a bad afternoon for Danny Stevens. I think his possessions have been clean enough. He's been to the Murray Hamblin School of goal kicking. And end on end, wobbly, straight through the middle. 9
marks and 21 possessions today for Danny Stevens.
I think he's been one of the best 3 on the deck, I think. Well, for what he's done in his impact, it's been all clean.
And now Centrals have possession of the 6 highest scores this season. The top 6 are all Central District, so you can well and truly judge that they dominate this competition in terms of scoring, certainly. Just past Sturt had the 6th highest score of the season, which was 150 points. And now, of course...
Well, Scholar gets a tap. It's over to Moore. Kick long. Marcus Baldwin, he's up high. Oh, great work by Geister, just held his ground. Looking for his player in Hicks. Tried the one-hander. Polly's there. Enormous pressure. Oh, that was a nasty... Ben Moore, well done. He took the impact and got up with the ball. He's got Nathan Woods, and there's the siren. It's all over. Central's run out winners, 24-10, 154 to Glenelg. 10-8, 68.